fastest show in sports.
The world is coming to America. The World Cup is here, is in Canada, is in North America. It is a time when people from every single country around the world will show up in these places to watch their team, forgetting for a moment the ridiculous, stupid, asinine amounts of money that it takes to go to this event. And if you looked at the ticket prices, remember when FIFA told us that there would be affordable tickets? And I want to challenge them right now. Show me those affordable tickets, and they'll probably show you maybe a couple of thousand here and there. But it's a ridiculous amount of money to go to the games. That's secondary. We can put that off to the side for right now. But the bigger thing that's happening is a growing, burgeoning movement to boycott the World Cup. I'm seeing it out there on social media. I'm hearing it on some of the soccer boards as well, where people are saying it is time to boycott. And a lot of times, they're talking about the money. But more often than not, people are talking about boycotting the World Cup in America because it's America. Now, let's deal with this. First of all, an absolute. A boycott of the United States regarding the World Cup, a boycott, a screaming boycott of the games, refusal to come to the games in America en masse, will not happen. There is no way it happens. You can scream, holler, jump up and down, do whatever you want, but this is the World Cup. People live their lives for this event, to see their national teams. They are dying to come here. They are desperate to come here. They are spending ridiculous gobs of money to come here. Some people are bankrupting themselves. They're taking money that they've basically saved for houses, and they're going to come to America, and they're going to watch the World Cup because it is in many ways, the single most important thing in their lives. Okay? We here in America have other sports that we can say are ours, and we're definitely going to go, but the World Cup, people will break the bank. So as we keep hearing this notion about boycotting the World Cup, I want you to, and look, I'll tell you, if somebody disagrees, drop me a note on the YouTube channel, send me an email. I'll be happy to look into it, but it's not going to happen. It's ridiculous. I applaud those people who are saying, or standing on whatever reason they want, where they say, we're not going to go to America for the World Cup. Okay, you're going to boycott. The games are still going to sell out, most of them. The World Cup is still going to be held in America. The money will still flow here. FIFA will never, listen to me now, FIFA will never change the venues of games unless, of course, there's a war. Something happens. Maybe a nuclear device goes off somewhere and they have to worry about the radioactive fallout. That might be the only way they're going to do it. But FIFA, which is one of the most corrupt sports organizations in the world, will not take any games and move them. It's just too late. You can't move them because you've got stadiums that are being prepared, lodging that's being prepared, transportation that's changing. You've got all this, tickets that are being sold, people that are making arrangements to come to certain cities. Can't happen. FIFA would either have to give back money or lose money, and they're not going to do either one. As I said, one of the most corrupt sports organizations in the world. Do you really think that they're going to give back money? It's not going to happen. So let's work from that premise. There will be no boycott in America. But we need to look a little deeper into why this is being called for. Many of the people who are calling for a boycott of the World Cup in America will list ticket prices. Got it. They're ridiculous. They're stupid. I mean, it's like you're going to have to go out, take your firstborn child, the heart out of your chest, your home every single dime you have, and even then, you won't even get into the stadium. The prices are stupid. Prices are that way in every sporting event because they'll make the prices whatever the market will absorb. And in the case of the World Cup, the market will absorb a lot because people don't want to be without their soccer. So understand that right now. Many people say the prices, but we have to recognize the faction of people who are considering boycotting the World Cup because it's America, because of the immigration policies, because of the actions of ICE, because of the actions of other governmental police departments who are using their power in many cases to completely unconstitutional and illegal levels, pulling people out of cars, asking for citizenship papers where people don't have to carry them, basically arresting people without any notification whatsoever, and taking people and shipping them out of the country. Now, this is the point where everybody has to kind of pull it in a little bit and understand what's happening. I have spoken to a number of people, friends of mine, who live out of the country, who are either not coming to America or are scared to come here because they are really frightened what happens when they go to any one of the stadiums where certain countries are playing, specifically Latin American countries and African nations. They are scared spitless that they are going to walk in, they're going to be stopped, they're going to be hassled, they're basically going to be shoved into a car somewhere, taken to a detention center, and deported to a country that they've never been in before. There is a fear that this will happen, and it is a warranted fear. Because all you have to do is look around you and see what's happening. Now, I'm not trying to make this political. I'm not trying to say it's the fault of Republicans or MAGA or anything like that. I'm just making the statement that in the situation we are in right now, America is not a place that people want to come to. And there's going to be people out there going to say, oh, good. You don't want to come to America? Go back where you came from. Oh, for Christ's sake, we have to get into this nonsense again. These are people coming here because they're coming to see a game. They're coming to vacation. They're putting money into our coffers. They're spending money at our stores, our hotels, our rent-a-cars, whatever it is. They're spending money that will go back into the communities that they're basically playing in. Okay? So they're making money for local communities, but they don't want to come here. And the people that I've talked to, I can tell you right now, there's one very good friend of mine who absolutely will not come, who wants to come here and wants to root on his team and wants to be here for his nation, but he is absolutely frightened that he and his family are going to be rounded up and tossed out of America. It's a real thing. There are going to be people listening to me right now who will say, that's not a real thing, Ed. It's not going to happen. If you do your homework, there are numerous reports from legitimate sources that talk about how many of the World Cup sites will be populated with undercover agents, with people looking for citizenship, and not just from people out of the country. They're going to be working it because these agencies have hammered down on American citizens. Number one. Number two, there's people who probably want to go see the games who are not in this country legally. I'm going to give you that. It's going to happen everywhere. Every single place you're going to see one of these countries, there's going to be somebody there, maybe a lot of people, depending on the nation, who are not in this country legally. They don't want to come to the games because they know damn well that ICE is going to be there. Immigration enforcement will be there. And they are scared to death about being thrown out of the country. Now again, here we go. The arguments start to go back and forth. People will say, there'll be a faction of people who will say, good, throw them the hell out of this country. They're here illegally, and it's the reason why we're here. We're going to take them because they're criminals, because they've broken the law, and they need to get out of here. Maybe the fact they haven't broken the law, maybe they're here, maybe they've been working in this country for 20 years, maybe they've been paying taxes. But because they're here illegally, there's that faction of people that are going to say they need to be thrown out of the country. Look, let's not even consider for a moment that actually they're good for the workforce. I get that. And here comes this whole argument where people will say, we're throwing hardened criminals out. For the most part, that's bullshit. Because most of the people who are being tossed out of the country haven't broken the law. They're not killers. They're not rapists. They're not murderers. I'm going to come back and say that if you find those people, I'll help you get them out of the country. I'll help escort them to the border with you. I'll help drag them into jail, because these are the people who deserve to be taken off the streets, regardless if they're from another country or if they've lived in America their entire lives, and if they were born here. They need to go. But most of the people that are being apprehended haven't really done anything except come here illegally and earn a living. This argument is going to go on and on and on, and people are going to hammer me for this, because there's going to be the other side that will say they're here illegally, but they're making a living and they're trying to get in. And they're also going to say that trying to become a citizen in the United States has never been easy. It takes sometimes decades to do. It's not like you come in here, say you want to be an American citizen, take the test, speak a little English, wave the flag, and you're a citizen. It takes years, and it's backed up. But there are those people who have the legal papers and the legal documents that say they are allowed to be here in this country, and they are here legally. But because they're not citizens, they're targeted. The World Cup is going to be used by our current government as an absolute feeding frenzy on what can happen going after illegal immigration, people of ill repute who are here. They are going to use it. I will guarantee you there are going to be undercover agents in most of these facilities. They are going to hassle, harangue, do whatever they can to make sure that they look for people. And most times, you know this to be true, they're going to look for people based on their color, the color of their skin, what they look like. They look Hispanic, they look African. I mean, look, we've got a case right now as I'm taping this show where there are members of a police force in a Minnesota town that are being stopped and being asked for their citizenship papers and are being hassled. They're cops. They're members of law enforcement. You know what the difference is? Every single one of them that's been stopped is black. It's a racial targeting. And that's going to happen at the World Cup. There are people who believe that the Trump administration is going to use the World Cup as basically a trap. And they are going to fan out to all these different places and arrest as many people as they can. It's distinctly possible. And guess what? If they do that, they're going to make some mistakes. They already have. They've made innumerable mistakes. This should be a sporting event only. It should be hands off. There should be no ICE at the games. There should be no illegal immigration enforcement. This is a game. And people out there are constantly screaming that we need to separate politics and sports, when I come in here and I speak the truth to you and tell you that politics and sports are bedfellows. And they have been for a long, long time. I'm the one that's come out and said that athletes, when they speak about politics or social matters, many of them need to be taken seriously. A lot of them understand it better than the average American citizen. But for the event of what this is, national teams will be coming here. People rooting for their teams, their countries, are going to want to go to the event. If you ask me, I'm telling them stay home. It's not the way it should be. It's a game. It's a big event. I guarantee you a lot of the murderers, robbers, and rapists and all these others, they're not going to the games. They're going to stay away as much as they can. It's the families that want to go there. It's the people from different countries, different nationalities, who want to go there and see it. And they should be allowed. But there is a fear factor out there that tells people coming to this country for the World Cup that there is an even chance that they're going to be arrested. Maybe they'll wind up in the Honduras. Maybe they'll wind up at CCOT. Maybe they'll wind up at prison somewhere. Maybe Guantanamo Bay. Maybe their kids will wind up there. Their wives, their husbands. They're scared shitless. And they should be. While a boycott of the World Cup will never happen. FIFA won't let it happen. The Trump administration won't let it happen. Sponsors won't let it happen. Are you kidding? Communities and people who have invested billions of dollars will not let it happen. But there's an argument to be made that maybe it should. Maybe it's not a bad idea. But again, not going to happen. All I'm going to say is, and I've told this to my friends, and I say this to anybody, if you're out of this country and you're thinking about coming here for the World Cup, think twice. And if you live in America, and if you are here illegally, even if you're here legally, even if you have documentation, even if you weren't born in America, even if you've loved this country for 20 and 30 years, and you've been a part of this, the fabric of this nation, and you've paid your taxes, be scared. I don't know if I could tell you, honestly, I don't know if I could tell you, take a chance and go to the games. Because there's too many people taking chances now. And they're winding up in a white jumpsuit somewhere in a country that they've never been to before, when basically they haven't committed any crime whatsoever. And in the meantime, there's American citizens, because of this action, being maimed and dying on our streets. Because in this case, in many cases, we've just taken it too far. And it is a reason to be frightened.
Ed Berliner, the fastest show in sports.